Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We're gonna cast some more Rain, man. Why not? But it's gonna be a different matchup. Rain here in the bottom left of Radeon, going up against Royal here in the top left. You know, they played a couple games, so I'd like to take a look at them. You know, I think it's no secret I'm kind of a fan of Rain. I really like the way he approaches the game. I like the smartness of his play, the way he thinks about the game. I think is really, really good. I think it's one of the best. So, should be fun. And, you know, Royal, I'm a little bit of an anti-fan of Royal, which is funny because I respect him so much. He's such a strong player, and he actually brings a lot to the Terran race. He's like a very important player to have exist. I don't like his style at all. He plays the opposite of what I like in Terran. But, the thing is, like, it's really important to have an optimizer like him, where it's like, he would be the closest thing Terran has to Mini. Okay? So, like, he will come out with builds where it's, like, really well mapped out, really great economic optimization, things like that. And actually, I was thinking to myself as I loaded this up, okay, Royal versus Rain. How does that match up stylistically? Because both these guys are, like, either, you know, they're both ASL champions, they're both really top-tier players, really highly respected and everything. But I would also say maybe the weakest matchup for both of them is this matchup, TVP, PVT. Yeah, I think most people would agree with me on that. But thinking about their actual styles, Rain, how do I express what Rain does in this matchup? In PVT, Rain gets the job done. There's no fancy special thing. He finds what he needs for the advantage, and then he pushes it, and once he has that advantage, I think it's really hard to come back against him because he knows how to maintain it. Royal is normally an optimizer in this matchup. Now, that's not to say he won't mix in other things, and it's not to say that Rain won't mix in other things. But Royal is a more likely upgrade Terran type of guy. He's more likely to get armory before second factory, to get siege mode more quickly, things like that. And actually, looking at those two against each other, you know, obviously if Rain gets an advantage, it's very hard for an optimized Terran to ever come back against a disadvantage. You kind of have to play like a pretty flawless game. You don't have like a lot of movement like someone like Sharp or Speed might have, where it's like, okay, I'm behind a little bit, I took some damage there, but oh, I got some vultures in, okay, great. It's more like, okay, I'm trying to nail everything, so I have a very strong mid-game type of thing for Royal. So I'm actually thinking about those two styles competing, and I actually kind of like Royal for that. Like, yeah. Yeah, like Royal, if he... I don't know, it just... There's something in my gut is telling me, like, okay, that actually sounds pretty good against Rain. Like, you know, Rain will have a bunch of Dragoons and try to punish you for something, but Royal will, like, have his siege mode in nice position, that type of thing. Anyways, I don't know. We'll see if it actually plays out like that or not. StarCraft's a complicated game, man. A lot of different things can happen. You know, we did some Rain versus Soma games because I wanted to see Soma deal with mass Dragoons. There wasn't a Dragoon made across 3 games. It's like, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, well, that's the funny thing. Everyone can kind of play everything at the top. So even though you have things you generally do more often, doesn't mean that that's what we're going to see. Okay, so Zealot Dragoon come up, but very good micro there from Royal. Great targeting. Having the SCV in front was critical because he blocked the Zealot for a second. Just the damage output on the Zealot is so fast because of the Vulture that you just kind of have to turn around. So you can see Rain getting literally nothing done here. This was perfectly blocked by Royal. One factory with add-on. We don't see mines being gotten yet, which is kind of interesting. We have that Nexus coming up. Command Center's faster, though, which is kind of weird. Not that normal to see it like that. The Vulture running around. Looks like it probably wants to come down here and scout. The Dragoon is actually not ready yet, but it should be ready just before the Vulture gets up the ramp, I believe. He leaves the probe because he knows it's tight. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Ah! Oh, and he didn't miss any shots. If you miss a shot there, this is not going to do anywhere near as much. But it gets in, and he's going to get a... Oh, man, he actually just was slightly slow on that probe, or he would have gotten one more. But that was actually an excellent Vulture. You're super happy with that. Look at this. See? Siege tanks being made. You watch. He's going to make an armory, I bet. Well, actually, if I... Yeah, there is the armory. The thing is, if I had gotten that in, saw 1 gate range and no tech yet, and got 2 probes, I'm like, you know what? I think a second factory here would be nice. Put a little bit of pressure on. But of course, there's the armory. He's not even getting mines. Like, this is Royal. This is how Royal plays. You know, and the thing is, it's not exactly right to call it upgrade Terran. The opening, we used to call this Goliath build back like 7 years ago or so. It was called like the Goliath build for this matchup, and then the Goliath build for TVZ came out, which was completely different. The thing is, the idea of upgrade Terran is Armory plus Academy in the old days, and then it became Armory eBay and whatever. But it's not exactly right to call this upgrade Terran. It's very fast Armory, and it could turn into upgrade Terran, but it also might go into 5 or 6 factory, which might be a push. It might be an expansion. It's hard to say. So imprecise language right now on that. I apologize. I'll try to think about that and boil that down a little bit better. And you can see some great micro here, actually, from Royal, not as much from Rain. Very, very poor from Rain right there. Okay, what? What? Okay, well, I have another game between them, and we'll just get that started right now. Okay, so as we're jumping into their second game here, it is going to be on Death Valley. Pretty quick scout there from Royal, from Rain, but Royal chooses to go for a very fast barracks to block this completely. Oh, wow, that's just as annoying as it... Dude, the SCV is so stupid. It's just like, yeah, I'll just stay right there, no problem. One of the worst RNGs that exists in all of StarCraft is this in StarCraft 1. The fact you have no control over where this goes. It is so brutal, the amount of, like, lost mining time you can gain here. Sometimes it'll just stay down here. Sometimes it'll stay up there. I once had a game where I was being Zealot Rush trying to finish a factory. I had 7 SCVs in a row that just jumped out as far as they could towards the Zealots. 7 in a row. And then sometimes you have the SCV just sit inside the entire time. It's just like, there's... It is the worst RNG. It's like a flavor thing that was made for a game that was never meant to be played competitively. Oh, man. Anyways, yeah. You know, obviously this is a crazy map, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. I love that he's trying to force this. Oh, that was a great move from Royal. So Rain was baiting that to occur, but Royal instantly used move command to get the Marine here to block the probe from coming in. That was actually awesome moves from both players. Okay, got to talk about that last game for a second. Wow, very fast command center down here. That's interesting. I haven't seen anyone do that. Oh, I haven't seen that many games on this map anyways, but yeah, that last game felt like everything kind of went wrong for Rain. And yeah, well, I mean, if you lose all those, for some reason he thought he could get in there and kill the siege tanks. Like, if he could have traded for all 3 tanks, like 4 goons, 1 zealot for the first 3 tanks, is a huge advantage for Protoss. But the fact that he killed like 1 tank and lost everything, it's understandable. He looks at that and says, this was stupid. That wasn't a good move. Okay, whatever. So not too surprised to see that he left that game. But yeah, I wasn't prepared for the game. I'm like trying to like talk about big overarching things as they kind of tit for tat in the early game, but it was like, you know, 4 tits for a 1 tat or something. The tat being the tank and the tits being the goons. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Yeah, a little bit of Dragoon pressure coming up. Feels like the old days. Dragoon attacking the depot while he's trying to get a factory up. Just pushing it back immediately with the 3 Marines, and he does have to run away. So some okay pressure coming out. Let's take a look at his tech. It's actually Robo after that Nexus. It's very interesting to see Royal play this like this, by the way. And he's going to make a bunker here. Okay. Okay. You know, I'm going to be honest. Like, I've actually enjoyed this map, especially for this matchup. TVPs have been very interesting here for the ones that I've played, and just in general. The ones that I've seen have also been kind of interesting, fun games. The map is kind of insane, and I think it is probably pretty imbalanced. Like, if we get tons of games on this map, I think it'll it'll probably end up being just like a purely Protoss map, but I could see, well, Zerg absolutely wrecks Terran. I haven't seen one good TVZ here. But as far as ZVP goes, I actually don't know. I don't know how that would turn out. It's kind of interesting. I haven't seen well, I've seen just a little bit. I mean, the best versus Queen game. Oh my God. One of my favorite games of the year. Okay, I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place right now. But I like the idea from Royal to very quickly take a command center down here. It's hard for Rain to scout that. And Rain obviously not going to have any units on that side of the map that quickly. This is a very nice defense. He's got siege tanks coming out already. He does have mines on the way. Yeah, and he's just going to start hitting that bunker. Royal instantly starts to try to repair. And here's the thing. If you can kill one assimilator against Terran, they're basically locked out. You actually only want to kill one as Protoss. You want the other one open because no mech units can get through. For those of you who don't understand, I think we've seen enough maps like this, but the double assimilator, anything can walk through here, including an Ultralisk. As soon as you kill this, all mech units don't fit. Dragoons don't fit. Ultras and Lurkers don't fit. Reavers don't fit. Well, I mean, that's... Have you ever seen anyone try that? Archons don't fit. So it's like Zealots, DTs, Bio, most Zerg units will fit through here still. He just killed that, by the way, just a free supply. So yeah, like if you kill one against Terran, that's really strong because Terran can't send anything worthwhile. Like the SCV for scouting would be about it. Like you're not going to make Marines and send them through. Vultures don't fit. So realistically, I think he should just kill this. Because what you'll see is later on, Protoss sometimes will force Mass Zealot through this hole. They like to kill one, and then later on attack with Mass Zealot, and you should probably just kill it. Okay, let's take a look at our game state. It's actually an 11-worker lead for Royal off the back of this really quick command center, and this shows his optimizing tendencies and how well those have worked for him. He's got a few mines laid around. It doesn't seem like very many. He did go mines first, which was interesting. And he's got some missile turrets. He's setting up siege. Okay, 3 zealots coming over. That, I mean, if it's 3 zealots, it probably will be a dragoon zealot bust. Like, this is called a bulldog. When you run in, you drop with zealots on top of siege tanks, and you attack with goons. This is not a strategy that generally works anymore because of bunkers, plus people don't siege every tank anymore like they used to in the old days. You just siege a few. But there's no bunker here, so this could be brutal. He's got to get his SCVs up in front immediately. Okay, he starts dropping these off. They tank quite a bit. They get on top of these siege tanks as well. Okay, this is huge for Rain. He is going to crush here, I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait, 2 more tanks pop out right then? Okay. I would say, actually, that turned into being completely fine. If those 2 tanks hadn't popped out right then, Rain could have pushed the ramp, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it looks like it ends up... That looks to me like that was about even or slightly Royal favored. Yeah, I'd say probably slightly Royal favored. Not massively, though. Like, Rain is still fine here. But we're in this funny position where Rain is taking this Nexus and this Nexus. So he's got a lot over here and not a lot here. Royal seems to be setting up a 5 factory, which can only go in this direction. Oh, okay, that's just a pylon. Yeah, it's so weird looking at this map. And just to, again, make it clear... This area that you see Fog of War, you can't cross. And it's not because of the Fog of War. There's just the way the terrain is made. You cannot cross here. Okay, Dragoon's coming out. This is a lot of siege tanks. And it's like Citadel is not even finished. He's only got 3 gates. This is a very weird looking game. I think we're going to see Royal roll through him. Well, he's bringing his units out. The thing is, he has this mined out, right? Well, I guess you can't stop Terran if they want to go through there. They can because of siege tank range, but... Yeah, Royal is crushing walking through here. In fact, he kills that Reaver. That was a huge fumble of the Reaver, unfortunately. What a weird game. Okay. This one we can chalk up to, it's a weird map. Royal did something I haven't seen. Maybe Rain hasn't seen it. But he definitely, the way he was playing, like, he was playing this kind of extra greedy. When last season, when Monty Hall was a map, I actually casted a few games and talked specifically about this, where you get a weird map, and I actually want to mute this for a second. Because, okay, I want to really make this clear. So we talked about how you get a weird map, and then you try to play using the map's unique traits to further enhance your play. And it's not always about further enhancing your play. Sometimes it's about your base play becomes much better. So you don't need to necessarily play more greedily, okay? So, what is it? Alt and Z, entire map. Okay, so, well, I guess we gotta jump back to before he left the game because of the way this game works. Notice how he has 3 gates, and he has 4 Nexus. That's not normal. You guys know that. You watch ArtosisCasts all the time. Minimum, after 3 base, you want 6 gates. And he has 3. So he's trying to utilize his map and say, I can do even more here. Where if you just go 6 gate legs, what you do is over the long term, you win more because the map is hard for Terran to move around on. Instead, he played extra greedy because the map is hard for Terran. But Terran is more likely to try to do an attack because it's going to be harder to play late game. So just do something that brings you more towards the late game is what I'm saying. Okay? So I think that this was... I always talk about how smart Rain is, but I think that this is a misunderstanding of what makes this map good for Protoss. There was no reason to play it extra greedy. Play it normally, and eventually you'll gain advantages, based off the map being hard for Terran to move back and forth. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy. Let me know if you agree with that assessment, and we'll see you next time.